Most workplaces have a vending machine full of snacks, but as Eyewitness News reporter Jeremy Baker shows us, one San Antonio company is changing the way employees eat and ultimately live.
Meet Greg, Lily, and Ronnie. All three work for SWBC and have their favorite lunchtime restaurants.
A lot of times I'll run down to Subway at lunch, actually.
Probably Whataburger.
Probably Chick-fil-A.
Those options may not be the healthiest, but then Accent Food Services to the rescue with their stocked market.
We've been able to really meet the needs of their consumers through functional services, great focus on fresh food offerings that we have, and the beverages and snacks being on site.
Starting today, their stocked market features healthy food options made daily for the 450 people at this site.
It gives them an opportunity to get, whether it's some healthier choice options or just a snack on the go to get that sugar buzz, they can do that too.
There's all sorts of healthy items in here, including a turkey sausage quesadilla, a Western omelet, and an all-day breakfast meal. Hey, I'm healthy. Buy me. I want to get out of here. The market is just one aspect of SWBC's Commit to Be Fit program. They've also got a wellness clinic with biometric screening.
The biometric screening involves some standard blood work, height, weight, body mass index, just to kind of see where you stand.
One screening knocks their cost of insurance down, and they've also got a Virgin Pulse app to track their health too. Through the app, each employee can earn up to $500 by accumulating points, by tracking their steps, tracking healthy habits, and even challenging their coworkers.
From the weekend rumble, we have the Saturday and the Sunday to meet a certain amount of steps. And whoever wins gets the points.
Those points turn into cash money, just another incentive from the company to stay healthy and stay happy.
Very fortunate to work for a company that really puts that much of an emphasis on employee wellness.
Jeremy Baker, KENS 5 Eyewitness News.